Lawyers for President Cyril Ramaphosa have argued that it is lawful to suspend Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane from office. This as Advocate Mkhwebane challenges President Ramaphosa's intention to suspend her pending the parliamentary impeachment process against her. The Public Protector has launched an urgent Western Cape High Court application to halt the impeachment process as well as her suspension. The Public Protector's legal bid is being opposed by the Democratic Alliance, the party that wants her removed from office. The party says that she will not suffer prejudice on the sub judice principle as she has alternative legal recourse. The president's lawyers insist that the Public Protector can be lawfully suspended pending her impeachment process. The Public Protector has maintained that she is being victimized as President Ramaphosa is conflicted in the matter following investigations against him. The case is ongoing and judgment likely to be reserved. All right, let's now bring in our legal analyst, Reitumetse Benedict Phiri, to weigh in on this matter. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Thank you so much, Flo.
Let's start by talking about, perhaps breaking down the arguments from both sides before we delve into really what I really want to focus on is, what the Public Protector's argument through her representative, Advocate Dalimpofu, was saying. But for now, can you just break down for us the application that she's currently bringing forward and then what the National Assembly's argument is in terms of countering that?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, what, the Public Protector is asking the court to do is to say, stop Parliament from continuing with my impeachment process pending this rescission of a rescission application that I've taken to the Constitutional Court. Or alternatively, that order of the Constitutional Court, which amended the order of the Western Cape High Court relating to the impeachment process, must not be given effect to while she seeks to stop this process. So that's the part of the order that we're really dealing with today, as well as including the fact that the president must not be able to suspend her on the basis that he is conflicted based on previous affidavits that he has actually deposed to in various matters, right? So that's really what we're looking at today. There is a part B of the application where she seeks further relief, which then sets aside the letter from Parliament to the President, as well as the President's letter, and declaring all of that unconstitutional and seeking some various legal recourse. Yeah. But the problem with her argument, really, and which is what you have heard, is that, firstly, it is lawful for the President to continue to seek to suspend her, given that that is actually a prerogative afforded to him by the Constitution the moment the process to impeach her continues. And certainly Parliament was within its rights to seek to continue the impeachment process as soon as the Constitutional Court issued its order saying that she could not rescind that application. So I think those are the two sort of main arguments on either side here. And I certainly think what would be problematic for the president really is that he has deposed to affidavits in previous proceedings where he has said that he actually appreciates that there might actually be a perception of conflict of interest here, and he wouldn't actually act for so long as that perception persists.
And actually that's where I wanted to go. I actually wanted to go there. I mean, is there no basis for the argument that is, being put forward by the advocate, the Public Protector, and her team that the person who's supposed to be suspending her could ultimately be conflicted because this is someone that she is investigating. Surely there should be some sort of a step aside in terms of an issue that, you're being dealt with in a certain situation. And that's why the issue of conflict comes into play. Why would it not be important to note that there might be some sort of conflict involved there?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think in this particular instance, it looks like the president has actually scored an own goal because he has previously conceded that there may be a conflict of interest here and that this is a decision that he may delegate to another cabinet member. So I'm finding it quite bizarre that he insists on taking this decision of suspending the public protector when he's actually made a concession to that effect before, right? And to be honest, there was no necessity for that concession because as a matter of law, what triggers the suspension is the process of the National Assembly, in which really bias has nothing to do with it. But I think the president has made his position a little bit more difficult, on account of the fact that he's made that concession previously.
Yeah, Mr. Phiri, another thing that the Public Protector's legal representative, that's Advocate Dalimpofu, spoke about and really pressed on was this particular issue that he believes, and of course the Public Protector herself would believe that, that she's being victimized. They say she's victimized by powerful forces in the country. Is there any merit to that sort of argument? And I mean on a legal basis. I mean, if that's the perception, one could say, yeah, it's not nice, but, in terms of legally, is that a legitimate reason then to put forward as an argument? What kind of weight would that hold, the perception that, I'm being attacked?
Yeah, I think that's those allegations are not helpful in the context of a matter with, heightened political scrutiny such as this one, because I think if we stuck to the facts that the public protector has really not performed at a level or showed herself to be fit and proper to occupy the office of the public protector, and this has been found judicially to be the case, and it is on the back of those findings judicially that now Parliament seeks to impeach her. And then, on the back of that notification of the impeachment process continuing, that the president seeks to suspend her. I think that's a fairly narrow line, which is quite tight and, compact from a legal perspective. Yeah. And it really doesn't help to make such, allegations which aren't necessarily relevant in the consideration of this matter when you consider, those legal factors that stick together like that.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about, the issue being that she has not performed. And of course, that then raises the issue of competence. But what exactly is that based on? I mean, we're consistently hearing about the clean audits that are presented by her office. We're hearing about the cases that she has completed. And it seems as though it's a lot of cases in comparison to past public protectors that her office is in fact completing. So when we're talking about competence and we're talking about her not performing, in what context are we talking about?
Yeah, so we're talking, for instance, in her submissions to courts in the various applications that she has made that are actually not legally justifiable or cannot be supported from a legal perspective. And ultimately, she does occupy a legal office. And there is a requirement that certainly when you apply yourself around these matters, they are informed by sound legal reasons. And, the matters that she has been criticized roundly by the courts, really her legal acumen came into question, and not so much her ability to run the office or, the public protector's office, and not so much how quickly she completes these reports or which ones she's completed. But when it has actually counted, she has taken irrelevant considerations into play. She hasn't applied the law properly or looked to apply it for factional purposes, etc. And the courts have really come down hard on her for her conduct in that respect. And I think when you do have findings of a court questioning your legal ability within, being the head of a legal office, I think that does create the question whether you should still remain in that office. And Parliament, is well within their rights to look to her impeachment in those circumstances.
All right, let's leave it there. Thanks very much, Reitumetse Phiri, our legal analyst. As always, a pleasure to have you. Thank you, sir.